Hello there, I'm Scotty, and you're not. And continuing on Tubi Horror Weekend 4, I gotta do it this way because I've been doing it the other way, and it's been backwards when I do the thing. We're on the second of the 3 Henlotter films I'm gonna do, and this is Brain Damage, a movie I had no idea about. You know, like I said, I'd seen parts of Frankenhooker before. I know some things about Basket Case, but this one was the one out of the 3 that I just didn't know anything about. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen Brain Damage, go to Tubi, watch it. Do not watch this review if you have not seen this movie. It is very important. You have to watch this movie without knowing anything about it. So I'm giving you a warning, spoiler warning right now. As usual, go watch the movie, come back, and we can talk spoilers, okay? I'm gonna give you the count of 10. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoiler time. Alright, so this film starts with this old couple, and they're looking for something. We don't know what. They can't find anywhere. And then down the hallway, we meet our main character, Brian. His girlfriend shows up, but he's not feeling well, so he doesn't go out with her tonight. And then weird things start to happen. He starts hallucinating, and he finds out he has a parasite called Aylmer. Now, Aylmer, it comes out of the back of his head, and he injects him with this hallucinogen that feels so good he gets addicted to it. So he wants more and more. And while he's on this stuff, Aylmer takes his body out for a spin because he can't control it, and he kills people, you know? Eats their brains. Meanwhile, the old couple is still trying to find Aylmer because, as we find out later, they were feeding him cow brains, animal brains, and getting the drug that way. This film was balls to the walls, man. Especially like the second half. As soon as a certain scene hits, it really gets going. You know? But yeah, he's on this stuff. He goes out and he goes to this club. And he's all like blasted on this stuff when he starts making out with this chick. Now he has a girlfriend, but he's on drugs. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's on this drug. He doesn't know what he's doing. The juice. He's on the juice, as they say. He has no idea what he's doing. So, they go to this secret room. It's like a boiler room or something. And they start making out. And I'm just waiting for this to happen. And I'm like, okay, he keeps like making out with her here or something. Okay, he's gonna pop out your brain, right? And I'm waiting. Then he's happening. I'm like, okay, are we gonna get like more of a sex scene? We don't. And then, well, she goes down. She grabs him in the crotch and says, "Oh, you got a monster in there." Yeah, you're not kidding. So she gets down on her knees and is it legal for me to say this on YouTube? I mean, I'm not getting any, I don't allow ads, so I'm not making money off of this anyway. She unzips his pants and Aylmer pops out into her mouth and eats her brain that way. But then he holds on to her head like she's giving him a blowjob, and it looks like she's going down on a giant black dingus. Like black, not like African American black, because Aylmer looks like a turd crossed with a dick, only really, really black. I don't know, he's very weird. I had to find a decent picture. I didn't know what to look for, but I have a picture that looks less like a dick so I don't get in trouble. But for my thing, yeah, that happened, and that's what I said. Like that scene happened, and she died, and I went, well, that happened. But eventually, he's like, I don't want this anymore. You need to get out. And so Elmer's like, okay, we'll see, but you're too dependent on me now. And it talks. But you're too dependent on me now. I'm going to let you stew, and I'm going to let you deal with this. And you'll come crawling back. And he starts to have the DTs. He starts to really fast. Like, not like, oh, a few days. No, instantaneously. Because he's so hooked on the juice. He can't stand to be without it for 1 second. And then we have another nightmare-fueled scene where he sees this thing coming out of his ear, and he starts pulling on it. Eventually, he pulls his ear off, and it starts spurting out blood. He's going, ah! I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And it snaps out, and it's like a dream. But it was all a dream. But that was really fucked up. So eventually he decides, oh, I have to invite this thing back into my body, or I'm gonna fucking die. So he does. Meanwhile, on the side, there's been sort of a love story between the roommate, who's his brother, and his girlfriend. Brian's girlfriend. So Ryan goes out, comes back, and he's in his room. I guess they don't know he's there. And they start having sex. And it's really, like, the editing, like, they start making out in the kitchen. And then it cuts to Brian in his room. When it cuts back, they're just on the bed, already naked. I'm like, wow, that was fast. And they're going at it. And he can hear them. And I'm sitting there thinking, is this just in his head, or are they actually doing it? And I think they're actually doing it, but it's, I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. And he confronts them, and he says, you need to get out of here. Because he was trying not to kill, but you need to get out of here. Because he's going to kill. He can't explain it because he tries to explain it. And it hurts him. Aylmer hurts him. He's like, no, you can't tell anyone about me. And so he goes to this club or whatever it is. It's like this gym or something in the shower. And we see a cameo from the guy who played Zorro in Frankenhooker, which I think it could be just Zorro. That'll take place. I have a theory that all of Henenlotter's films are in the same continuity. And we'll get to that later. I think this is actually before this, because we're getting towards the end of the film. But, yeah, he goes in, you see Zorro, and, like, there are some other kills in this, but, like, he ends up on the subway station, with his girlfriend, and across from them is the guy from Basket Case with a basket. So Belial is in there. Yes, I know the name of the creature, his brother. Belial is in there. Right? And even he gets freaked out by him and he leaves. So, there you go. And then they make up and they start kissing, and I'm like, man, she's a whore. She's with you and she fucks your brother, and then she's to make out with you. What a whore. But, you know, this is the end, towards the end of the movie, so Aylmer kills her, and then he runs back home, where he's attacked by the old couple, who now look worse for wear because they need that drug. Earlier we see foam coming out of their mouths. And he tries to get him, fights him off, supposedly killing, but Morris gets back up, that's the old man's name, grabs, I almost said Belial, grabs Aylmer, causing, because he's going to put him in the back of the neck, and he grabs him before he can go in. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Brian's plan was to get him in his head and then use the gun that he had to shoot himself in the head, killing both of them. But Morris comes in, he grabs him, squeezing him out, which makes him overdose on the juice. And Morris eventually kills Aylmer. And then Brian goes back to his room where he starts freaking out, and this weird thing starts popping out of his head that made my head hurt. He shoots himself in the head, and this weird light starts coming out of it. The brother and the cops show up, and they burst in, and they see this, and the movie ends there, and it's just like, what the fuck? Henenlotter, what is with your endings? I've watched 2 of your films now. One ended with a dude head being put on a woman's body. This one ends up with a freaking strobe light or whatever it is, thing shining out of a dude's head. What the fuck? That just... Now, I can't give this a so bad it's good. Not every one of these are. I'm going to give it a pretty good, because I actually enjoyed this very much. Beginning to end was just nuts. Like, Henenlotter's films are nuts to me. I think I found a new favorite horror director. This was not a new in the line, a new horror director that I like. I know he doesn't make movies anymore, and I'm trying to find his movies, but they're kind of expensive, like $15 for this on DVD, 15 to $20 for Frankenhooker on DVD, and Basket Case I can only find on Blu-ray, and that's an Arrow release, so that's a little steep. But yeah, and there's 2 other Basket Case movies I know, but I won't be able to do those. They're not on Tubi, and I looked on Roku. They're not on there either. So, and there's another movie that I can't find anywhere. According to Jason from Sinister Cinema, this movie, I can't remember the name, is on Shudder, but you have to have it through Amazon. I don't know if they changed that, but I don't have Shudder anyway. But yeah, this was fun. Next, we're gonna be finally. I'm going backwards. I didn't realize I was doing that because it's supposed to go brain damage, or no, not brain damage. Basket Case, brain damage, and then Frankenhooker. But I go backwards. Frankenhooker, brain damage. Basket Case, technically brain damage is in the right order because it's in the middle anyway. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on brain damage? Comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. I don't know why I did that the first time, but it started becoming a thing. And no, if you're thinking I got a haircut, it's just in the back. I just wanted to look like I got a haircut. I don't know. Does it look better? Shorter like this? I don't know. See you.